starting off, bank deposits, okay? When it comes down to building a relationship with a bank or whatever lender it may be, you want to make sure that your deposits are strong, okay? So when you look at like a business loan or a line of credit and you think, oh, this person got this crazy amount and this other person has an even higher score and got less than them. And you're like, how is that possible? Because banking relationships mean a lot. So many people, when they get a credit card or a line of credit, or even when they want to apply for one, their focus is how much can I get out of the bank, right? But the bank is looking at, well, what have you put into our bank? Are you making regular deposits? Because that's how the banks make money. If you're not depositing money on a regular basis, if you don't have an average balance that's strong, this is going to hurt your opportunities when it comes to getting the larger amounts of money. Again, remember, everything we discuss is always about getting you max dollars. So we're not talking about getting you, a quick $5,000 to $10,000 card. This is about getting you hundreds of thousands, if not more, into the millions. And as you continue to go through our process and learn about everything you need to do, you'll start to see these things start to take place, because we definitely can assist you in that process. So to add on to that, when you get into the deposits, you're thinking about, oh, well, I just got to, open up a bank account and put some cash in the bank. No, that does help. Don't get me wrong. If you have a strong opening deposit, when you get into a bank, it actually can put you into a different tier, such as a platinum member. Like when you deal with like a bank like Chase, where they have an opportunity for those that have higher income, you can actually deposit, let's say $100K, and keep that balance in there. And as a result, they'll allow you to get qualified for a lot more lending than any other regular person applying at the bank, just because you keep a certain amount in the bank so that they're able to make money, okay? Because they lend your money out. They may, use it for other investments, things like that, and you keep your balance in there. But as a result, you're able to get a lot more money from them as well. Now, the other part of that is, even for a lesser level in terms of the account, the more you put in, let's say you put in like 5K, right, into your business bank account, and you keep having transactions go through there, meaning you want to set up a merchant account. Okay. If you don't know what a merchant account is, that's for you to process credit cards. Okay. So when someone wants to pay you, you want to be able to accept credit cards, not just taking only Cash App or only Zelle. You want to have a real merchant account at a real bank. All right. Why does that work? Because when the bankers look at a client, if they see you have strong deposits coming to the bank, your average balance is strong, now they're much more likely to feel comfortable helping you get approved for a larger amount of money. As well as when you have a merchant account and you're processing transactions on a regular basis, where you have, $3, $4, $5, $10,000, or even smaller or higher, but just having consistency is what I'm primarily focused on when it comes to getting your transactions done through that bank. Okay. When they see that you built a relationship such as that, now you also have a personal account with them. You have a savings account on the business side and on the personal side. That makes that particular bank feel a lot more comfortable lending you more money. Too many of you are looking at the banking side and saying, oh, well, I'm just going to, get a credit card here, move on. Get a credit card there, move on. And they're not looking at the overall picture when it comes to getting access to the larger numbers. All right. Now, the reason why this works as well is because, let's say you set up that deposit relationship where you get your, checking account, and then you got the savings account, or the business and or the personal. Now, when it comes to buying cars, now when we talked about like the equipment financing, it makes it a lot easier to get through the door. And there's a lot less red tape, because when we deal with this process of lending, there is the written rules and unwritten rules. Okay. And we'll get into more of that as we go. But in the written rules side, you're looking at a situation where, you want to make sure that you're following all the tiers in terms of having the right credit, the financials, all that stuff, right? But if you already have bank accounts or a bank account at that particular bank, it makes it easier. Even if your credit is bad right now, this is what a lot of people won't tell you as well. When your credit is already in a bad spot, the temptation is to say, I can't apply for any lending. And in some ways that's true. But if you do have banking relationships where you at least have approved or got approved for a bank account, a savings account at multiple banks, right? Like for me, I have about 30 plus bank accounts. Okay. I don't just deal with one or two or three. So I have a lot. So if I show you, I have a bunch of cards, all that stuff. The reason why is because when you deal with the banking space, you want to have as many as possible, because when my credit wasn't as good as it is now, I had to have these relationships so that by the time my credit was good, I have so many options because I'm already verified at the bank, because they've already seen me put money through there, thousands of dollars and so forth. So when they see that, and also they see you leaving money there, it makes them a lot more comfortable lending you more money. So am I saying that everybody has to have as many bank accounts as me or even more? Not necessarily, but you do want to have some strong relationships, especially while your credit is in process. Because again, by the time you're ready on the credit side, you want to have all of that out the way. Because now when we take you to a different bank or a different lender, they're not questioning, is this really you? Is this your real business? Is this your real income? Is this your real name? Is this your real driver's license? Do you really live at this address? Is your business over there in reality? All those things go away, because again, we're connecting you directly with one of our top bankers at the bank, if not the president or vice president. So because of that, you already come in referred, and now you've built the history up. So the more you do that, the higher your options will be, and obviously the more funding you can get. So that's why I said having strong deposit relationships is just as important as your credit. Because some people, when they hear about getting funding, they only talk about having a good score, having some positive accounts, some trade lines on your credit report. And yes, is that important? 100%. But when it comes to getting those larger numbers, okay, they're going to look at your overall relationship. I've had clients that have been declined because they had a situation prior to with either the same bank or even other banks that, let's say they had a bad relationship with the bank and they didn't pay a bill, or even if they did pay, but there was a series of, let's say, overdrafts or just not the best business, right? And there was no credit card, there was no loan, there was no owed loan or credit card debt, but the bank account was not managed the right way. They've been declined for a new bank account from a completely different place or a new credit card solely because of the history they have in the other previous banks. How do they find that out? ChexSystems. So if you're not familiar, you want to always know about ChexSystems. This system that almost every bank is now using, either ChexSystems, or they'll also check your early warning. Early warning is a very important one too. A lot of people don't know about these alternative bureaus, but when you have an issue with ChexSystems or early warning, a lot of times that can block you out of getting into certain banks and getting approved for larger numbers. So when you're getting funding and you're trying to make sure you get the most funding, you want to make sure you have several bank accounts. That way, not only are you understanding that you'll be able to build those relationships once your credit's right, but also so that you know there's no issue with you in banking as a whole. Because there's a lot of times where we've had clients with 800 scores, with high income, and still get declined because they had a bad banking relationship. Again, going back to why we call this the banking podcast, because when you do the banking right, the funding naturally comes with it. Okay. So this is why you have to make sure all that stuff is put together in a right orderly fashion.